Hello everyone. Not so wild about Harry now, eh? Of course, it was a long time ago. Who wouldn't be stupid enough to know he betrayed his family and smeared the Queen and the royal family? Who wouldn't be stupid enough to know he took money from people's charities for his own benefit? Who would be stupid enough to like him when he's been spreading rumors about being a drug addict and mentally ill, etc.? In short, everything he does makes me extremely angry. That expression is familiar to you, isn't it? The age of 40 marks the beginning of life. Do you feel the same way? I'm dreading it myself. I can tell that you are. That is for sure. Do you see what I mean when I say that I no longer bother with the candles because I am afraid that they will have to call the fire department in the event that a very large fire breaks out throughout the cake? It is always a source of concern, isn't it? And of course, people are now effectively claiming that 60 is the new 40, since it seems like we are all living longer and in better health than we were in the past. What's going on? I hope you're doing well in terms of your health, but is that really the case? It would be quite interesting to know. It was believed that when you reach the age of 40, you were completely cut off from everything, including men and women. You know what I mean? A fresh group of individuals was prepared to take over your positions, and it would appear that you were then placed in the vintage basket. How the times have changed, or do they not? Mainly due to the fact that in the instance of Prince Harry, the age at which life begins may not be the age that he had truly hoped to reach all those years ago is 40. I think it's intriguing because, as I've mentioned before, we place a lot of importance on age, don't we? On the whole, we are saying things like, oh, you know, they are this or they are that. In addition, you really shouldn't do that, since, of course, when you reach a certain age, people tend to place you in a box as if you are incapable of undertaking anything, even for something as simple as opening a can of beans or something similar. You know, all of a sudden, it becomes an issue. However, when you are someone like Prince Harry, it is impossible to avoid the fact that you are approaching that significant birthday because everyone is aware of the date that you were born. Every aspect of your life has been recorded and documented, so everyone is aware of every single detail about it. It is possible to propose, of course, that as Harry approaches that particular magnificent birthday, it might be a little bit easier for him to do so, given the fact that, according to rumors, he is going to be receiving millions of pounds from a trust fund. Having said that, that does not always cover everything, does it? For the simple reason that, when you stop and think about it, he is now forced to wonder how he is going to be able to celebrate his birthday with his loved ones and friends. The family situation is going to be difficult because, as we all know, nobody seems to want to talk to him, and there won't be much of a desire to travel to Montecito or even to spend some time there. In fact, there won't be much of a desire to travel overseas. It is possible that all of this may be recorded, videotaped, or somehow documented, and they would not necessarily trust him. Once again, the situation gets even more worrisome due to the fact that Meghan is unable to invite any actual members of her family because she is simultaneously not communicating with them. It would appear that there is going to be much of cake left over. Nevertheless, it would appear that there is a concept on the horizon, as stated by a reliable source of information. Certainly, what I want is for Meghan to pay dearly for what she did. If anyone feels Meghan is despicable, please comment number 1. Otherwise, if anyone doesn't feel the same, please comment number 2. Because, as you can see, there is no better way to incorporate something else than to use this incredible concept of a Harry Potter birthday party, which is supposedly going to be the theme of the event. Absolutely. How about we get something started? Yes, you are aware of what I am referring to. Netflix's cookery show is a cooking show. All of the individuals that you want to invite, as well as all of the people that you do want to meet, in addition to the movies and shakers, and most crucially, this could be sold to a magazine. Perhaps a food service could be provided, and the alcohol could then be subsidized. You can see how this comes about. As I mentioned before, this is still in the very early phases at this point in time, you know. But one can actually see this happening for the simple fact that, really, Harry, unless he comes back to the United Kingdom with those two children, to introduce them to, of course, his father, more formally and for a longer period, because, let's be honest, they won't know anything about him, apart from the videos that, allegedly, Meghan has shown them of the coronation. That is clear to you. Nevertheless, I'm especially confident in the case of His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, Prince William, for the simple reason that, as you are aware, it is merely a significant achievement, and you are about to leave that behind. It is not possible to do so again. You will never be able to get it back. But it is very evident that Harry has decided to live this life. In addition, as you can see, he is obviously being moved about to the place where he is being instructed on what he should do. He is restraining himself. However, the question that needs to be answered is whether or not those buddies, with whom he had a strong bond up to the point where they were all marginalized for reasons that cannot be explained, will now wish to rejoin the group. It is well known that a significant number of Harry's pals were unable to get along with his wife. There is nothing new to report. In many different kinds of partnerships, it occurs. But what's the most important thing? All of them? Is that true? And will this wild about Harry party be the one that finally helps catapult Meghan into the stratosphere that she truly and sincerely believes she rightfully deserves? Certainly, Meghan wasn't really wild about Harry in the first place. It was the money and the fact that he was a prince that clinched the deal for her. Now Harry is trapped with a poisonous spider. He's every bit as poisonous and has been and still is her willing, equally sadistic, gleeful confederate, confidante, and conspirator in all their cooperative evil. Both of them are monsters. Besides, with Meghan, the idea of false advertisement always comes to mind. Harry didn't and couldn't read the signs, but do believe all of his family members read them. As though Harry did the false advertising by making himself out to be some Disney prince who was extremely powerful and wealthy. She then locked onto him like a missile, as she had openly told people she was looking for a wealthy Englishman. Clearly, neither understood how the monarchy works, somehow didn't understand that much of what it owns is held in trust for the nation. It's funnier than that. Harry said that William and Charles are trapped. Karma caught up with him, and now he is trapped like none of his family members before, trapped with a poisonous spider. Zero, he married for love, but the love was for a fake persona that disappeared the minute the ring went on the witchy finger. Literally, until now. She's too old for the old millionaires. They like young women looking like models, not someone who dresses like they're in a bundle of rags. I know Meghan thought she married a spare, but she ended up with a flat tire pretty much. Honestly, if Harry comes into a significant sum of money, for his sake, let's hope he has the good sense to spend it cautiously. It will be slim pickings at Harry's 40th birthday. As far as a person to join the celebration, Harry deserves to spend the day alone and miserable. So according to Meghan, Harry and his birthday party can center around Meghan and her cooking show. How lucky is Harry to have this woman by his side? He must think he hit the jackpot with her. He actually saved other men from having to deal with her, so I guess he did something for mankind, after all. In fact, he not only chose it, but he also propagated it. You reap what you sow, and he's sown plenty. Unfortunately, he'll never get what he truly deserves. There is no punishment great enough for how he treated his grandparents, or for allowing his vile viper of a wife to demean them in their most vulnerable years. That's right, Meghan was never wild about Harry. It was the money, celebrity status, and glamour that he brought to the table. Unfortunately, none of those were enough to compensate for the ugliness that this duo exhibited. Hence, no one of repute wants to be around them, because sooner or later, that ugliness brings them down too. Just think of how much of an asset he could have been to the royal family if he would have married someone like Catherine, instead of that tick that sucks the life out of him. Remember, Meghan, people are not stupid. They know their attendance, even if they wanted to, which many don't. will be used as an endorsement of ARO. Imagine if those two, Beatrice or Eugenie, attended. It would be, ARO is endorsed by the royals. Besides, I'm not so sure Meghan will do anything for Harry's B-Day. If she does, it will be all about her. Of course, this could be interesting. Harry should divorce her fast to keep her paws off his money. I am sure that this is a typical narcissist. It's someone else's birthday, but let's make it all about me. I'm talking about Meghan, and everyone looks at me and what I'm doing, whilst Harry on his birthday will be pushed to one side, made to walk behind, and try to sell jam for her show. Meghan will get written about and photographed, and Harry will be pushed to the side, will probably only mention that it's his birthday. There is a great scene from the movie But Not For Me, with Clark Gable. He played a top-aging Broadway producer dating a much younger woman. It was his birthday, and his ex-wife brought out his birthday cake with the exact number of candles representing his age. His writer buddy, played by Lee J. Cobb, quipped that it looked like the Chicago fire. Harry needs to return without his wife and start rebuilding his relationships. The birthday party Markle is planning for Harry will have a sparse guest list because they no longer associate with them in Cali. To be honest, using her horrible cooking show as an excuse for Harry's birthday party is really disgusting. What is she going to do when the guests hate it and all walk out? What about poor Henry? Henry should just go out on his own and stay away from that day. What a complete failure for his birthday. Don't make me expose you more. Meghan, will you find the truth to the reports saying her ex has deviled? She has a 21-year-old daughter that she gave away and threatened her father if he told. Also, Eugenie says she never saw their children when in California at their house. Would you like to explain anything? I am grateful that you took the time to watch our video. To what extent do you feel about this matter? Please leave a remark below so that I and everyone else can share it. We would be quite grateful if you could show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. I hope that everyone is consistently joyful and full of life. Goodbye, and I hope to see you again soon.